Tiffany Hayes, girl, you are doing too much. On Threads butthurt because you got a logo bomb on your head. You got smoked. It's okay. Please move on. And to be clear, Tip started the trash talk during the game. And now you on Threads replying to fans saying that your growth is a gift because you were able to keep your composure. Keep your composure from normal basketball trash talk? What? Somebody said they got cousins that are ride at dawn. And Tiff on there like, LOL, I F with y'all. Y'all my peeps.
The temperature around Caitlin Clark and Tiffany Hayes has officially crossed into dangerous territory, and the entire WNBA now finds itself trapped in a storm it can no longer control. What started as physical basketball and competitive trash talk has exploded into accusations of endorsing violence, online outrage, national headlines, and growing questions about whether the league has completely lost control of the conversation surrounding Caitlin Clark. Because this is no longer just about one hard foul, one heated exchange, or one emotional post online. The tension surrounding Caitlin Clark has become the defining pressure point of the modern WNBA era. Every game involving Caitlin Clark now feels bigger than basketball. Every interaction becomes political. Every rivalry becomes cultural warfare. And every comment connected to Tiffany Hayes now gets dissected under a national microscope. The reason this situation keeps escalating is because Caitlin Clark has fundamentally altered the economics, visibility, and emotional intensity of women's basketball. The arenas are fuller. The television numbers are larger. The media coverage is relentless. And with that spotlight comes resentment, scrutiny, and emotional reactions that previous generations of WNBA stars never had to navigate at this level. Meanwhile, Tiffany Hayes suddenly finds herself standing at the center of one of the league's most explosive controversies. Fans are demanding suspensions. Social media is erupting. National outlets are covering the story, and the silence from league leadership is becoming almost as loud as the controversy itself. Then, while all of this chaos is happening, another firestorm suddenly appears. The WNBA begins promoting Azzi Fudd statistics that fans immediately compare to Caitlin Clark's rookie records, and now critics are accusing the league of trying to rewrite history in real time. This is no longer a basketball debate. This has become a battle over narrative control.
The Daily Mail put this article out today, and this article right here is making big time buzz. It stated, Golden State Valkyrie guard Tiffany Hayes seemingly endorsed a fan's offer to inflict violence onto Caitlin Clark after the clash during their last matchup. Now, I have not read this article in its entirety, but I definitely want to read some of it here with you guys. So this is the Daily Mail. This is national news. Now, it goes on to say,
the moment national media entered the Tiffany Hayes situation, everything changed for the WNBA. Because internal basketball drama is one thing, but once headlines start spreading outside the sports bubble, the pressure multiplies instantly. And that is exactly what happened when the controversy involving Tiffany Hayes and Caitlin Clark began trending nationally. Suddenly, this was no longer just Fever fans versus Valkyries fans. This became a story about player safety, league accountability, and whether the WNBA has created an environment where hostility toward Caitlin Clark is quietly tolerated as long as it remains wrapped in competitive intensity. The timing could not be worse for the league. The Indiana Fever are preparing for another matchup against the Golden State Valkyries, which means the tension surrounding Tiffany Hayes and Caitlin Clark is only going to intensify. Every camera angle will be monitored. Every foul will be replayed endlessly online. Every piece of trash talk will become a headline within minutes. And that creates enormous pressure on figures like Stephanie White, who now has to manage not only basketball strategy, but also the emotional atmosphere surrounding Caitlin Clark's games. What makes this situation so explosive is the perception that nobody is stepping in to calm things down. Fans expected stronger public statements. Fans expected clearer condemnation of violent rhetoric. Instead, many viewers interpreted the silence as avoidance. That perception is fueling the outrage. Because Caitlin Clark supporters believe the league aggressively protects certain narratives while becoming strangely passive whenever hostility toward Caitlin Clark escalates. Whether fair or unfair, that belief is spreading rapidly online. At the same time, Tiffany Hayes appears completely unwilling to back away from the energy surrounding the rivalry. And in the modern social media era, perception matters almost as much as reality. Even indirect interactions with inflammatory comments can spiral into a public relations disaster. That is exactly why this story exploded, not because of one isolated moment. But because fans believe the WNBA has allowed months of escalating resentment toward Caitlin Clark to boil over unchecked. And now every future game involving Caitlin Clark carries the emotional intensity of a playoff elimination game before the season has even fully settled.
I'm so sick of the nonsense that this girl has to go through. And it's weird. It's weird. She has done absolutely nothing but bring eyes to the league. She has done absolutely nothing but be really goddamn good at basketball. And everybody hates her for it. And don't give me the nonsense or the BS. It's her fans. And, oh, she's supporting racists and all of this, because I can point to you every athlete, every celebrity, every single person known and famous.
What makes the Caitlin Clark situation psychologically fascinating is how differently she is treated compared to almost every young superstar in league history. Usually, when a rookie transforms a league financially, veteran players eventually embrace the attention because everybody benefits from the growth. But Caitlin Clark's rise has produced a uniquely emotional reaction across the basketball world. Some players admire her talent. Some fans defend her relentlessly. Others resent the non-stop coverage surrounding her. And that emotional split is now shaping the entire WNBA culture. Caitlin Clark entered the league carrying impossible expectations. She was immediately asked to become the face of women's basketball while simultaneously proving she deserved the attention. Every turnover became a debate. Every foul became a controversy. Every celebration became polarizing. Then the physicality started. Opponents tested Caitlin Clark constantly, full-court pressure, aggressive traps, hard screens, verbal exchanges. Physical bumps, veteran intimidation tactics. The message was obvious. If Caitlin Clark wanted to dominate this league, she would have to survive the psychological warfare first. But something unexpected happened. Instead of shrinking, Caitlin Clark leaned deeper into the chaos. She started firing logo threes with more confidence. She became louder emotionally during games. She embraced trash talk. And that transformation completely changed how opponents responded to her. Now the league is dealing with a Caitlin Clark who is no longer simply surviving the physicality. She is responding to it. That is why the Tiffany Hayes controversy exploded so intensely. Because many fans feel Caitlin Clark finally pushed back emotionally during competition, only for the reaction against her to become even harsher. Historically, this resembles what happens whenever a transformational athlete disrupts an established hierarchy. Older systems resist change. Veterans defend territory, media narratives fracture, and eventually the sport divides into emotional camps. The WNBA is now living through that exact reality with Caitlin Clark. And the pressure is becoming enormous for everyone involved, including Tiffany Hayes, Stephanie White, and league executives who understand that every new controversy increases attention while simultaneously damaging public trust. Because once fans start believing there are double standards surrounding Caitlin Clark, every future incident becomes magnified 10 times larger.
Now, the WNBA, for some reason, is hyping up AZ Foot, which she did ball out. She had 24 points. She shot over 50% from three. So I give them that. But let's check this out real quick. It says, laugh him ass off. I don't know why this keeps happening. It's not hard to get this information out. WNBA and NBC. AZ Fugs, 6 3-pointers against the Liberty were the most ever by a rookie in the game. Caitlin Clark made 7 3-pointers in a game.
This is where the situation becomes even more dangerous for the WNBA long term, because the debate is no longer limited to physicality or player rivalries. Fans are now accusing the league of minimizing Caitlin Clark's historical accomplishments while aggressively promoting newer stars. The Azzi Fudd statistic controversy immediately triggered backlash because fans interpreted it as another attempt to erase Caitlin Clark's impact from the record books. And whether the statistic was misunderstood, miscommunicated, or framed differently, the emotional damage was already done. That matters financially. Because Caitlin Clark is not just another player in the WNBA ecosystem. Caitlin Clark has become the league's largest television draw, ticket seller, and social media engine. Entire franchises experience attendance spikes when Caitlin Clark visits town. Merchandise sales surge. Ratings increase dramatically. So when fans believe Caitlin Clark is being targeted unfairly, they respond emotionally with boycotts, outrage campaigns, and non-stop online warfare. And that creates a terrifying balancing act for the league. The WNBA wants to elevate multiple stars like Azzi Fudd while also celebrating Caitlin Clark's historic influence. But many fans now interpret every promotional mistake through a lens of distrust. Every omission becomes intentional. Every comparison becomes suspicious. That is the environment Tiffany Hayes walked directly into. Now her name is permanently attached to one of the biggest controversies surrounding Caitlin Clark this season. And if another heated moment happens during the next Fever versus Valkyries matchup, the backlash could become even more explosive. Because this rivalry is no longer just basketball, it is symbolism. Caitlin Clark represents the future commercial explosion of the sport. Tiffany Hayes represents veteran resistance and emotional competitiveness. Azzi Fudd represents the league's attempt to build additional superstars. And the WNBA is desperately trying to balance all three narratives simultaneously without alienating any audience. But right now, the tension is only growing louder. And the next matchup could become one of the most emotionally charged regular season games the league has seen in years.